Hey guys, welcome to Tech Fortitude, and today in this video we're going to see how you can create your own Discord bot using Python and host it on your Raspberry Pi 24/7. So this is going to be a very interesting video, so don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Tech Fortitude. And without any further ado, let's get started. So here I have my own Discord bot, which is Georgie, and Georgie has a very limited capabilities. It can respond only 3 responses, and it only responds if we mention it on the server. So it doesn't spam messages whenever you and your friends type. Not only that, you can extend its capabilities to any extent. Alright, so now let's see how I created Georgie. So here we are, and in my screen you can see a sample Discord bot which I developed for making this video. So this bot has a very least number of functionality, and it only responds if we mention it on the server. And now on the other hand, we have to prepare our Raspberry Pi to host this bot. So for that we need Raspberry Pi Imager to download the operating system onto this micro SD card. So you can do that by going and typing Raspberry Pi Imager, going onto the first link and downloading it for your desired operating system. In my case it's a Mac OS, so I have to install it for my Mac, and I already did. So we can launch it by typing Raspberry Pi Imager, and there we go. Now we can see we have different types of Raspberry Pi devices. In my case it's a Raspberry Pi 4, and before selecting that we have to plug in this micro SD card to our system. So let's do that next. And the operating system, of course. So the operating system that I'm going to download is Raspberry Pi OS Lite, because I don't want a desktop interface, because this is going to be fully controlled over SSH. So I'm going to download Raspberry Pi OS Lite. So let's scroll down and click on Raspberry Pi OS Other, and inside that we have Raspberry Pi OS Lite 64-bit. So Raspberry Pi 4 is a 64-bit device, so that it supports 64-bit operating systems. So let's click that, and we can see we have our storage device detected, which is our micro SD card slot. So let's click that and click on next. Now it's time for customizing it. So I'm gonna go ahead and type my host name, which is Raspberry Pi, and then next click on my time zone, and then the keyboard layout is US. Let's keep it as default, and then our username. I'm gonna type my name as the username with my own password. Click on next, and here we are. I prefer you to connect it with Ethernet because it gives more stable Wi-Fi than wireless networks. From here I'm gonna go ahead and skip this, and then we need to enable SSH. This is the main point, because without SSH you won't be able to control your Raspberry Pi over internet. So we're gonna use the password authentication. Click on next, and then let's skip that next. Then we can write the operating system. So it gives us a warning. I understand it anyways, and let's type our device password and a love, and there we go. Now the image is writing onto our micro SD card slot, and once it is done we need to connect Ethernet to our Raspberry Pi, and then finally we can boot it from the micro SD card to be able to get into the OS. In the meantime, what I would like to do is we're going to create the bot in Discord's developer portal. So go over to your browser and type Discord developer portal, and then click on applications, and it's asking me to log in. There we go. Now we have logged in, and from this screen we're gonna click on new application, and then I'm gonna name our new application. So I'm gonna name it as Georgie. Okay, and then we can go ahead and click on create and verify the captcha, and there we go. So now we have created this bot. I would like to switch over to dark mode. Okay, so you can modify your bot's icon, its description, tags, and every other stuff. So there we go, the write is complete. Let's finish that and take our SD card and our Raspberry Pi and plug this onto our Raspberry Pi, and I'll connect it with Ethernet and power adapter, and let's wait for it to boot. So Raspberry Pi is now booted, and now let's go ahead and connect it with SSH. So I'll open up my terminal, and you can get your Raspberry Pi's IP address from your router's portal, and I've already got mine, so we can connect it using SSH, my username at the IP address, and the password for our Raspberry Pi, and there we go. So now we have connected our Raspberry Pi using SSH. So the first thing what we have to do here is to run any updates or refresh our repositories. So let's type sudo apt get update and type sudo apt get upgrade. So I got no upgrades because I just did it before shooting the video. So if you have any updates, please update your Raspberry Pi and then reboot it once. So I've already did that, so there's no need for me to do it again. And now we need to install a package called as Screen. So what Screen does is it creates a session based process, which means when your bot is running, you can do multiple actions within your Raspberry Pi without interrupting the bot. Okay, so the next thing is we need to invite our bot to the server. So first let's run sudo apt get install Screen, and I already installed that. So now we need to invite our bot to the server, and then go and click on this copy button and import our bot to the server. Authorize, but we have authorized it, but still the bot is not listing in the members section. So what we have to do here is we need to make sure that it is the correct invite link, and for some reason I cannot import my bot directly to the server. So what I did is I just copied this link, gone over to ChatGPT and asked it to generate a bot invite link, and it gave me a link. So let's copy that and invite our bot. So just go ahead and authorize it, and now we can see Georgie is now imported, but the thing is it's still offline. It is because we need to configure our backend, which is the Python program for our bot. So the next thing we need to do here is we need to update our bot's permission and enable some settings. So go over to your developer portal and go to the bot section, and inside the bot section please make sure that you enabled message content intent. By default it will be disabled, so ensure that it is enabled. And in the text permissions I would like to add the send messages permission, and with that we can go ahead and start coding our bot's backend. And of course the token, so the token is confidential. Please make sure that you reset your token at first, and then finally just click on view token and we'll have a new token generated. Let's copy that and move over to our Raspberry Pi, and from here I'm gonna go ahead and create a new directory. So mkdir discord bots, and then I'll get into that bots, and then I'm going to create a directory called as Georgie, cd Georgie. Now I'm inside Georgie. Next thing is we're gonna go ahead and create the Python file, but first let's see whether Python exists on our Raspberry Pi. Yes, it does. So I would like to go ahead and type vim, and I'm gonna go ahead and type edit bot.py. With this, we need to go ahead and copy the code, this bot's code, over to the bot.py file. Okay, so I'll just copy that and paste it onto my file, and there we go. So now I have pasted my bot's code. Now let us just run this code to bring Georgie online. But the thing is, one thing we just missed, and that is the token. We need to enter bot's token. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go ahead and close this file and open vim once again, and in this I would like to create a file called as .env to store our variables. And in our code we can see the .env variable is discord bot token. So I'm gonna type discord bot token, and then I'm gonna paste the bot's token which we just copied over to this quotation. Okay, so now I have pasted my bot's token. Save this and exit. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is we need to create a virtual environment and install some Python packages in order to for this program to work. So let's create a virtual environment by typing python 3-m venv and the virtual environment, and it's getting created. And let's activate that. There we go. Now let's just install the packages. So you can see the env, which is the virtual environment, and it's active. So pip install. I want to install discord and then python.env. There we go. If we open our discord, we can see Georgie is still offline. There we go. Now let's just type exit and then connect to our SSH once again. Now we need to run this Python file inside the virtual environment, but before that we need to create a session using screen. So let's type a screen s, and I'm going to name the session as Georgie. There we go. And from here let's type source env bin/activate. Okay, I need to get into the directory. So cd this, and the virtual environment is active. Let's just run python bot.py, and our Georgie is going to come online. There we go. So now we can see logged in as Georgie. If we type something, Georgie won't respond because the bot is coded in a way that it only responds mentioned tags. And this is a very basic Discord bot, and if you want, I'll make a separate video on how to create a full-fledged Discord bot using Python, which is production ready, and you can modify this according to your change using ChatGPT or any other LLM. You can even vibe code the backend for this bot and import it to your desired Discord server. So let's just copy, let's just type @Georgie and type help, and Georgie gives the available commands. Let's just go ahead and type ping. Georgie says pong, and if I say hello, Georgie says hello. Georgie is working. If we go back to our Raspberry Pi and click on Ctrl A and Ctrl D, we can see we have detached from Georgie. and we can just exit and close our terminal, because Georgie will be running in the back end of our Raspberry Pi until we stop the session. So this is how you create your own Discord bot and host it on your Raspberry Pi. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give a like, share and subscribe to Tech Fortitude, and I'll see you guys in my next video.